Happy New Year.
New Year, what's happening?
Oh, not too much. It's really cold.
Right?
How did January turn into just cold all of a sudden?
I am hating it. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I've complained about it nonstop. Anytime it drops under 60 at the beach, I'm frigid. Well, I showed you before we started on what I'm wearing, but yeah, I mean, I'm just shy of snow pants here. I'm dying. And
I'm
you guys
I'm
got some cold stuff coming too, though.
we do. And
I mean,
it's
colder than it already is.
yeah, but Texas is always a little weird. Most of the time we do get a little bit of cold weather.
Right?
It just doesn't hit the entire country all at the same time because we're going to be colder than you guys for a hot minute until that hit front or that cold front hits you guys. So
Oh yeah,
I'm not ready for that. I gotta get some
they'll
gloves.
declare a state of national emergency here. The state will shut down if it dips into the 40s. It'll be over. We don't know what to do. I mean, we don't have ice trucks or anything like that. It'll just be Armageddon. It'll be awful. But anyway, yeah, just trying to get going for the new year. Did you make any New Year's
Ooh, you know,
resolutions?
I have not, other than to try to catch up on some of the TV shows that we've been putting on our list and never getting
Oh,
to,
that's ambitious.
right? So
Wow.
I'm not sure how far we'll get on that list, but it's we're gonna try to catch up on some stuff this year. How about you
Yeah,
guys?
mine's simple. I'm just going to try and lead a life of less suck. I'm just trying to hold it together. Right?
Is there a definition of
Taking
less
on,
suck?
oh, and I'm just not dying. I don't want to die at my desk. Although that would please Tom to no end. If I did
Oh,
anything less, if I died any other way, if I died on my sofa or in the yard or anything like that, he would presume his investment was wasted. But if I managed to die at the desk, he might miss me for a second, and then he'd just knight one of you guys, and the saga continues. One of you would be next. That's all there is to it.
see, what we
Um,
need to do is Photoshop a picture of you in the warehouse, like mid working on something, just frozen into an ice block. Like,
yeah,
R.I.P. Rye. He is no longer with us, but he died doing what he loves.
yeah, that's exactly what we should do. But no, everything else is quiet. Just getting, well, you know the deal, getting all the orders caught up and everything. But big thank you to everyone who pre-ordered and well has reserved now the night vision goggles.
Yes.
Those have been
Yes.
popular. Those have been.
I am so
Those
excited.
have been good.
We have had so many pre-orders for the night vision goggles. Several of our distributors already have them listed. So we're going into 2025 rocking some night vision goggles. So yeah, in case you guys didn't see the newsletters and all of the social that has gone out, the night vision goggles are open. Hi. Um, so
And they'll
um,
be along, well, the end of Q1, Q2.
yeah,
You
like
tell everybody what
March,
that means
April.
because I always say that and I forget it. Not everybody knows what that means.
We're stuck in, the quarters and the paperwork and stuff, so it's cool. But hey, let's talk about the goggles a little bit because we haven't.
We'll back up real quick. So, did I just not hear you? So, Q1, Q2, we're looking for these around the first end of March, 1st of April ish, around
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, just so everybody knows. Again, if you're one of the 5 or 6 who normally watch these, and you're the new guy, we talk about this every once in a while. We don't open anything we do up to reserves until it's literally running on the machines. It's we've got our samples and we know everything's going to work out. And these are coming in short order. So we drop the gate then. And the goal is we used to not even want to do that. We used to really just want to offer the product as soon as it came into the warehouse. But people were like, hey, I don't want to chase these on the secondary market. I don't want to risk it selling out in advance, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, okay, we'll do a soft reserve. So you put 10% down. If for whatever reason you get itchy, you're never trapped in a run with us. We will refund you, no questions asked. But this is your electronic hand in the air so you can make sure you're one of the first to receive one of these. And that probably gets closer to what you want to talk about, Amy, some of the details, right?
yeah, yeah. Just we have had a couple of people reach out and ask, is this 10% discount or 10% deposit a part of the total? Which it is. It is a part of the total cost. So when you guys do a reserve, you are going to choose the shipping that you want so that later on down the line, we'll know how to ship it. And then you are charged your shipping and the 90% remaining balance on your order. So once they get here, we will let you guys know. We generally send out information, what, like a week ahead of time, like while they're, while they're in process of being delivered. We kind of say, hey, they're almost here. We're going to start sending out invoices so everybody has a little bit of time. So, you know, we're just excited because this piece is one of those epic kind of pieces. We always knew we wanted to do this one. Like you had kind of mentioned when we were internally talking about it. Cryo, Ham and Cane, night vision goggles.
The big three. Yeah.
It's the big three. And so, always we'll have Mr. DNA coming in as well. That's about to leave. So Mr. DNA will probably be here a month or so before the goggles will. But yeah,
That's right.
it's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. So the big three, we never really articulated it as much, in that it was piece number 1, 2, and 3. But that's how we set it up in our minds. We were going to go 1, 2, 3 through the big three, as we called them, with rounding off the trio, as it were, with the NV goggles. Now, that's not to discount Mr. DNA. His job is to lord over the collection, to keep guard. Once you've got everything out, you've got your big giant Mr. DNA, just making sure everything stays safe. But we don't want to discount him or marginalize him. But as far as props proper go, the Ham and Cane, the Cryocan, the night vision goggles. So this does wrap it up for us, and it's a good note to end things on as far as what we consider the primary franchise, the JP props.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, and it's got some time in it, and we're only doing 750 of them. And as opposed to, my goodness, we did 3,000 cryo cans, right?
3,500.
3,500. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. And then
we're almost halfway through that run, by the way. Almost.
Yeah. Yeah. And then how many canes did we do?
We did 1,000 Ham and Canes.
Okay. That's right. So this is a short run, and main reason they're huge. The packaging, it takes up a lot of room in our warehouse. So we just tried to get them priced right at a reasonable size run that we thought would satisfy the market. Just pieces that we wouldn't necessarily. Sometimes we don't mind having stuff laying around the warehouse for a year or so, but we've got a lot of new things going on and a lot of things coming in. So we want to move these a little quicker now. So we just shortened that run a little bit, dropped the price a little bit. It came in $100 lower. So $7.99 is the SRP on those. And we were looking at $8.99, made a couple changes. So there you go, landed them $100 cheaper, and happy with how they turned out. I guess we could talk about that for a second. So, for that one brief moment, we actually see these in the film. Production actually made a lot of goggles. Although we've talked about this in house a lot. So we see the one pair, are they heavy? Put them down. They're expensive. That whole particular scene. But as often the case with films, there's scenes are cut, things are changed. Maybe we'll get to see that kind of stuff one day. But clearly, originally they had intended to show some more goggle action. We've identified 3 hero pair, and what we'll call the hero pair would be the rotating lenses, where they took actual camera lenses and let them spin a little bit. There were 3 of the hero goggles, and then more than a half a dozen static ones. Well, we'll call them static because they actually lit up, but the lens itself, you could tell, was cast from a hero lens. And we've got some photos. I won't be able to get them up today because I've got to make sure it's cool to show them. But we've got some photos of the ones I showed you, Amy, where they're sitting in the cabinet and it says night vision goggles. It almost looks like if you were going through the visitor center, you would have the option to, hey, grab your pair of goggles. Whereas in the film, it's more so they came out from under the seat. So who knows? I mean, we could speculate what they wanted to do there, what they might have been thinking originally, if anything. But the point is, a couple different types of goggles were made. But the one thing they all seem to have in common is the green, the 8 green running lights lit up with the single, I call it a warm-up light, the red light in the middle. So what we decided to do, we could have made the lenses rotate. but it would have run these up into a $1,600 pair of goggles. I mean, it just would have been ridiculous. And this was a nice option to make the lenses static, because we know they made some that way. So we made the lenses static and they light up, and it's essentially what you see, on screen. And then the goggle itself, we took all of our reference from an actual scan of an original. We talked about that a little bit in a couple of these other videos, but Universal had a pair of original goggles, Heroes, in their archives. Scans were done, and we used those scans and the reference from an actual Hero pair. And like I said, the lenses and everything are identical. It's just we chose to keep them static. So, and of course, hey, people ask, no, they have no night vision capability. They have as much night vision capability as the originals had, and that's zero. In fact, it's funny. We'll see if we can share the pictures at some point of some originals. If you look at the inside of an original pair of goggles, it's just flat. The actor couldn't have seen through them. It's just material in front of the eyes to undoubtedly protect them from the electronics. But they did absolutely nothing except look cool. And that's what these are intended to do. Look good on your shelf, look cool in your collection. So we thought we struck a good balance on the SRP there and the features. And, knowing that, they came from, the files directly off an original, that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
Did you have any more questions about them? Because I kind of just rattled off there.
Those are the big three questions. The deposit question, and then why don't the lenses move, and why didn't you want to put night vision in them? And while I do think it is cute, because obviously they're called night vision goggles, yes, in theory, could we have made a $10,000 pair of goggles that had some night vision capability? Maybe, but herein lies, it's really hard to come by like legitimate night vision goggles, even like on a regular market, that look like binoculars. So, if we wanted to do that, it would just enormously increase the cost. And I
would have quit. It would have been simple. No. We never would have done that. We get this question with everything, especially when we do conventions, I've learned to take it as a compliment these days, but in the beginning, I'd make a face or something. If somebody picks up a grapnel, one of the Batman grapnels, it happens every day.
every time.
Does it work? Now, for those of you who haven't handled one of these, it's a big chunk of metal. It's got a big spike hanging out of the front of it. The price is right there, and does it work? You want to say, yeah, we made a miniaturized device that shoots, lawn darts. Come get some. But you learn to take it as a compliment that, hey, it looks that real to them in their theater of the mind. And that question kind of just slips out very innocently. But I have it happen with, Blade Runner guns, the Hero Blade Runner guns. Do they shoot? Even with the cryo cans, people pick up a cryo can and they're like, does it have shaving cream, or does it chill? Does it get cold? People really ask these questions over and over, and you try to be patient and just, again, take it as a compliment. There's a reason why nobody's made night vision goggles in 40 years. Aside from some wink hobby runs and enthusiasts who tackled such things over the years, but there's a reason why they haven't been done en masse. It's a difficult project. It's a lot to manage. It's a big one. It's a tough one to tackle. So we're proud of it, but it'll be good to have it in the rearview mirror. And then, like I said up front, we've got a lot of cool things coming. So yeah, there's that. Apropos of nothing. Again, this is how the ADHD mind works. I was thinking about, I'm still hung up on New Year's resolutions. Not so much a resolution, but a public service announcement. This serves the public, I think, like fluoride in the water supply. The left lane is for passing. If you're not passing, get out of the left lane. I was thinking about that this morning when I was coming to work. And cocktail naps, beverage napkins. They're there for a reason. Use them. Separates us from the animals. Use your beverage naps. and stay out of the left lane. That's all I have. And I think if everybody could just focus on those two things, the world would be a better place. So
I'm
again,
gonna
there's my public service message.
I'm gonna add one more thing to that list.
Lay it on me. What is it?
On a generic level, I know that the world is kind of on fire and has been for quite some time. If everybody would just try to remember to like be humans to other people in their daily day-to-day interactions. I was literally seeing someone like screaming at a guy at a gas station for no good reason because they didn't have any more of whatever she wanted to buy at the gas station, as if it's his fault. Poor
That's what pushed them
thing.
over the
Like,
edge. That lack of one thing.
it's
You know,
those that Snicker bar was obviously necessary in her whole day because she got hangry and needed to have something.
well,
But
see,
just be human to each other. Let's
there we
just
go.
let's be
And that,
nice.
yeah,
Doesn't take that much.
and you know, you could put. I always say you could put people into two categories. There's the people who put the shopping cart away, and there's the people that leave it in the middle of the parking lot. If
Yep.
you can play a game almost, set in the parking lot in your car, your favorite grocery store, and when you see people come out, you can almost profile them. You could say they're going to leave it in the middle of the road. They're going to leave it right there. "Oh, this guy's going to put his cart up. You know, that gal's going to put her cart away. You know, whatever. You play a little game. You can almost guess. You can see the way they carry themselves, whomever it may be. But yeah, those are the two types of people. The one who goes out of their way to put their buggy or their cart up. I go to Home Depot a lot, Lowe's, picking up stuff. So I'm always pushing one of the sleds. And it's a big old chunk of metal. Kind of a pain in the ass sometimes if you're in a hurry to find its slot, depending on where you're parked. I go out of my way to put my sled back, to put my buggy back, because when you pull up at a parking lot, there's always that one that is getting blown around by the wind and there's some asshole left. And if you don't take it, if you don't walk it up to the front door, you're going to find it inside of your car when you come out. It's just going to be
Absolutely.
magnetically drawn to it. So yeah, you could break that down. That is a non put the buggy away woman you saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Be a decent person. Put the buggy away. All else falls in line.
Exactly.
But But yeah, that's all I got. I wanted to say, thanks for everybody, like I said, who locked down the NV goggles because we saw a lot of familiar faces. I mean, lots of RPFers, lots of people that have been with us from the beginning since we started Paragon, a lot of our regulars. So it's always nice to see you guys. So thanks for locking those down. And yeah, we expect to go through these pretty quickly. So, and I know you guys are going to like them. We worked on them a good long time. So I feel good about it.
They are
But yeah, it's a nice way to start the year. And with everything coming, we've got so much coming that we've talked about in the other videos. Let's see, our hunter seekers are on the water.
Mhm.
They're on the way from Dune to be quickly followed by our Mr. DNA that we talked
Mhm.
about. And then we've got what else? We've got the Dune knives.
The Dune knives. They are coming shortly. They are not quite done. They should be wrapped up in January. We've also got the Broken Joy Emanator that
Mhm.
we're hoping can get wrapped up before Chinese New Year. So that's also coming. Oh, the super stands. We haven't talked about those in a
No, we
little
haven't.
bit,
No, go
but
ahead. Go on those. Go, go,
yeah,
go.
the super stands are done and being packed right now. Their inspection is on Monday, and they'll be probably leaving the factory by next Friday.
Yeah.
So those are almost on the water and coming. I know there's a lot of people that have asked me privately through, info and stuff of, "Hey, is that actually still around? Is that still coming?" We just didn't necessarily feel like that was a piece that we had to put up for pre-order. But I guess if,
Well,
if you
yeah,
know,
it's
if we
it's
need
something we're
to.
always going to make. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least we're planning to. I mean,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
the first run's decent size. We'll talk more about them when we get them. Of course, that just felt like one of those things. I guess we've talked about it once or twice. We got a few videos up about it. Once you said your piece on them, you know how much can you talk about a stand? So when it comes in, we'll start showing different things displayed on it, that sort of thing. And like I said, it's not just for props or prop replicas. If you've got knives or uh, real firearms, or I mean, you could display anything like that on them, and it makes them look fantastic. Gives them a nice industrial edge, and it looks better than. Like I always said, one of the primary reasons we did them is because whenever we see people take pictures of their props, like on the RPF or different forums, there's their Blade Runner gun on their wife's doily. Yeah, or their kid's baby blanket, or so clearly people need some options, how they can display their stuff. So that's our small contribution to making the world a better place. We're gonna give you guys some stands so you can stop with the doilies and baby blankets and bedspreads and weird stuff like that. So anyway,
Oh,
that's what else? What else?
we also have announcements. We have 2 product announcements that we're going to be coming out with as soon as they are approved. So we will have some really cool stuff to talk about here in the next coming weeks. Just they need to be officially signed off on, and then you guys get to experience some really cool stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. In fact, I've got updates for you about that later when we get done with this. So I got stuff to tell you. Yay.
Awesome.
What else? And just backing up real quick to the Broken Joy emanator. Yeah, the real holdup there, we changed the stand because we wanted it to look cool. We talked about that once or twice, where it's reminiscent of where you see Joy's billboard, where she's talking. You look like a good Joe. It's got that neon look to it and everything. Kind of trying to do a little something reminiscent of that. And then the last sample we had of the Broken emanator, I wanted a stronger wash on the front end of it where it's broken, because that's what's present on the screen use pieces that we modeled it off of. So just some little changes in the finish, a little bit of cleanup in the metalwork I didn't like. So we figured it had been this long. Never wants to rush these things. We'll let them out when they're right, and that's kind of what's going on with that. So I know it's been a beat from when it should have been released, but we didn't take your money yet, so no crying about it.
Exactly.
So,
we will be updating our gallery with more images of the goggles and videos of the goggles. That has been a question that has come up quite a bit. Like, oh, I want to see the inside. Well, we're getting there. We wanted to get them up, and now that we're all back from the holidays, we'll be updating that gallery pretty shortly with some really awesome stuff.
I mean, what there is to see, it's a case of, what there is to see is on the outside. So even though we've only put those couple pictures up, kind of in a bright light and a darker light with them lit up, that's essentially it. But for showing them with the lights off, I mean, goggles are goggles. The inside of them is just material covering the wrap. There's your battery compartment and some little faux lenses, but we will get those up with time. We just knew people were ready to get going with these. We knew they were coming. So, but yeah, Amy's right. We'll do a video. We'll do some more photos. Be coming soon enough.
Yeah.
That's all I got. So happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And thanks, guys. Done? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, we do want to, well, hang on. Let me think. No, that's it. Do your thing. Sign us up.
Well, awesome. Y'all have a wonderful and great 2025.
We'll see you guys soon. Thanks. See you. Bye.